Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lie.
Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Fandomion. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. For any of you guys who might be interested or on the fence, I highly recommend checking out the website. Pay attention to the size chart. That'll be the biggest thing I would tell you guys. But with that being said, though, let's jump back into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, Chapter 68. And now that Chapter 68 is done in the books, man, we got a lot to talk about. So obviously, if you've not seen the review, make sure to check out the review. Review goes pretty in detail. However, I want to kind of follow up about the aftermath of what has happened in the last Boruto manga chapter. So as we all know, the chapter ended off and you had Ada and she's looking at Amato and she's making it clear to Amato like, okay, got you, fam. What you gonna do now? However, the big elephant in the room that we have is that Naruto and Sasuke, they are on their way. They have been made aware by Ino. Shikamaru tells Ino, don't send anybody except for Naruto and Sasuke here. Naruto and the others. Everyone else, they need to stay away from this area. So Naruto's coming, which means that Sasuke's coming. And right now, Shikamaru and Delta are the only people standing between Code and Amato being forced to take Code's limiters off, because as we've seen from this chapter, all that Code needs is for Amato to look him in the face, state your limiters are off, and then Code's limiters are automatically removed. And at that point, Code is going to be even more powerful than Jigen. Now, I've seen people say, is it Jigen? Is it Ishiki? The manga states Jigen, and I think that when we start looking at Jigen, we can look at the strongest version of Jigen, which is going to be that Karma Stage 2 version of Jigen that has the horn. Now, that is a problem. However, that's also a problem not just from a power scaling perspective of how do Naruto and Sasuke even hope to stand up against somebody who is now stronger than the person that bodied them when they were at their peaks. No, the real question becomes, if you're Kishimoto as a writer, what do you do now? Because you have now reached that point of no return, where, to use an expression, it's like that dog that is always chasing after a car and he never catches it. Well, what the hell does a dog do when he finally latches onto the car and rips off the bumper? You've got the bumper, you got the whole car. What do you do now? It's kind of like that when it comes to the whole idea of Code getting his limiters taken off. Now that the limiters are off, given where everybody is from a power scaling perspective, there's not many other routes you can go unless you do what I've been saying for a while, which is I think that Code's going to be betrayed by Ada. And because Ada is a character we don't know all of her motivations, we might see that Otsutsuki God creation that Ishiki told Code that was his goal, harvest the chakra fruit and upgrade yourself to becoming an Otsutsuki God by going from planet to planet devouring chakra fruits. That might be something put on the back burner, and if that happens, that's going to be a curious decision. However, Ada does give you opportunity to shift focus and we see what her other goals and objectives are. There's a lot about that character we don't know. However, the other problem that you run into is that Ada has power that goes beyond that of Jigen as well. She just isn't as skilled with taijutsu. So it's one of those things where this is a dangerous moment. I kind of feel like Shikamaru, now that he's shown us that he doesn't belong to sit in the corner, he's not on the slow bus anymore. Shikamaru is still highly intelligent. We might be in a situation where they might try to play keep away and keep Amato away from Code. But the problem that you run into is that now that Ada is in Konoha, Ada is going to be able to see every possible location that they're going to put Amato in, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because there's nobody in the village that can stop them. So I'm kind of curious to see where that's going. However, I want to look at this whole idea of if Code does get his limiters taken off. If this happens right now and Naruto and Sasuke pull up and you see them potentially team up with Delta, is this gonna be enough? Can they actually take down Code? And I'm going to say, as Code is right now, I'm gonna give that a small maybe because of what their teamwork can do. However, that man gets his limiters taken off. You might as well get ready because you thought the Boruto pack merchandise was disrespectful. I'm gonna be selling Naruto and Sasuke blankets. Them boys about to get smoked if Code gets his limiters taken off, because it's only so much that your superior skill and your superior teamwork can do when the power gap is going to be that huge. And I think that just looking at Code as he is right now, we do have something to kind of hang our hats on. So first, whether or not you agree with me, I still think that Sasuke is stronger than Naruto, but based off of what we saw when Momoshiki saw Naruto pull up in Sage Mode, Momoshiki was just toying around with Code. He wasn't taking him very seriously, but when he sees Naruto show up, he doesn't think, oh, I can handle the Hokage no problem. He's like, okay, it's time for us to make an alliance. That's the first course of action that he makes, which means that depending on how you read into it, you could read into that to say that in that moment, Momoshiki considered Naruto in Sage Mode to be a bigger threat than Code was. That could very well be the case. I think that the implication is there. I know that Amato said that he doesn't see a situation where Naruto will be able to beat Code one-on-one, but the thing you also have to keep in mind too is that Amato also said it's impossible to calculate how much power Naruto's lost without the kyuubi, so that is something to keep in mind there. The same thing when it comes to Sasuke. Sasuke doesn't have the rinnegan, so he doesn't have that huge amp and power that comes with the rinnegan. However, Sasuke is still very strong, and you could make a very sound argument, in my opinion, that Sasuke is not only best boy, he's best boy to the point where it's not even close. So those two fighting together, it could be enough to where they should be able to push Code off, especially if they have help from Delta. However, I do think that we're going to be seeing Delta go up against Ada. Given that we have an opportunity to have two females fighting, I don't see that being something that gets passed up, especially because having Ada and Delta go at it, it gives you a good opportunity to see exactly where Ada's taijutsu is. She says that she's only good at simple taijutsu, but we don't know what simple is. Was she referring to it as being academy student level? Was she referring to it as being jonin level? Was she referring to it as simple in comparison to people like Naruto and Sasuke? There's a lot we don't know about that statement right there. However, I do think that these upcoming battles, it's gonna be the potential birth of a god. Is that god going to be Code without limiters, or is that god going to be potentially the return of god status by Naruto and Sasuke via their teamwork? This is very curious to see where this is going from here. So what I want to know from you guys is, number one, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that Naruto and Sasuke stand a chance? And then the second question I have for you guys, and probably the most important question, is do you think that this is a mistake, potentially having Code get his limiters removed? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Have an awesome day, guys.